A holy child, the Señor Santo Niño, the call to love. Jesus said in the gospel, love as I have loved you. It's very clear, the call to love. In the gospel just read, Jesus was accused of not performing fasting abstinence, him and his disciples. The disciples of John, they fast and abstain, they pray. The disciples of the Pharisees, they do the same, but yours eat and drink. It seems that the accusation that he is breaking traditions, he is not following the law. But look at the response of Jesus. Jesus said, can you make the wedding guest fast while the bridegroom is with them? Remember in the other part of the gospel, Jesus said, I come not to abolish the law and the prophets, I come to fulfill them. Of course, by hindsight, today we know the meaning of that. But when it was first said, it's not immediately clear. But what is clear is this, there's a hint that what Jesus is trying to correct. Yes, they've been doing it since time immemorial. The disciples of John the Baptist, the disciples of the Pharisees, they've been protecting temple worship. But what has slowly eroded, what has slowly gone is the sense of the personal touch. It has become rituals. It has been reduced to numbers. How often, how you make it, what's the right words. But how about the personal touch? When Jesus said, can you still fast when the wedding guest fasts, when the bridegroom is still with them? The relationship between the bridegroom and the wedding guests. The sense of relationship. And that is the bottom line of our rituals. And that is the bottom line of our worship, relationship, our relationship with God. A God who loves us so much, a God who gives Himself to us, a God who said in the gospel, God so loved the world, He sent His Son. Isn't it clear? It's a relationship. Isn't it clear to us when God said, love as I have loved you? Isn't it clear? Isn't it clear that this relationship He calls for us to follow? When He said, I was hungry and you give me food, I was naked and you clothed me, I was sick, you took care of me. Isn't it clear to us? That's the danger. We reduce this relationship to numbers. We reduce this relationship into mere rituals. Burning candles, burning incense. How often you go to Mass in a day? How many times you pray the Rosary? Isn't it love? You could go to Mass every day and many times a day and not love. Is it possible? It is. You could pray the Rosary many times a day and yet you do not take care of people at home. Is it possible? Yes, it is, and it is happening. You could preach charity many times somewhere else, and you are the main speaker. And yet when you get home, dili ka makapakaon sa imong katabang sa balay sa hustong pagkaon. Is it not happening? It is happening. Jesus is clear in saying, can you fast? Can the wedding guest fast when the bridegroom is still with him? Sometimes what is lacking is the relationship. When you go to confession, and after you confess, and many times you go to confession, what worries you is how many Hail Marys and Holy Marys after you confess. And that is enough to pay for the sins you commit. Sorry, my friends, it's not enough. For all the sins you commit, and it's enough for you to say 5 Hail Marys and Holy Marys and that's it? No. In confession, it is a relationship between the lover and the beloved. You go to confession because you are hurt. You are hurt because you hurt the beloved. That's the relationship. Dili na siya nga kasimple. Lahi ang kumpisal, you are hurt because you commit mistake. You're hurt because you hurt the someone who loves you. Lahi manang unya ra kamo angkon kun masakpan. Way gugma na. Kay ni angkon man ka kay nasakpan na. Apan kanang masakitan ka, muhila ka, kay nakasa ka sa imong hinigugma, kana uy gugma uy. Wa ka masakpi. Apan nihila ka kay nakasa ka. That is love. Kita mo diferensya? Niangkon ka kay nasakpan. Lahi na. Lahi nang nihila ka kay nakasa ka. That's love. Confession, it's love. Tanawa ang Ginoo. Before you say anything, you are forgiven. You know, when you go to confession, it is the fullness of our humanity. And that is what God wants. Whether you like it or not, my friends, fullness of our humanity is that we are loved. That's our hunger. That's our thirst. Whether you like it or not, that's our thirst. The thirst for love. Nya daghan kitag pasanginlan, gahom, bahandi, salapi, even relationship. And at the end of the day, you stay hungry. You stay thirsty because our hunger really is the hunger for love. That's why in confession, when you are forgiven, that is the fullness of humanity. Why? Because there we feel being loved. Love, my friends. Love satisfies. And only love fulfills. That is why we run to God, because He is the perfect lover. You come here to pray because you believe in a perfect kind of love. First Friday of the month devotion to the most sacred heart of Jesus. It is a reminder about to us that there is such as love, and there is such as perfect lover. We come here because we believe in love. And only when we believe in love and feel being loved can we fully become humans. Because that is our greatest search, the thirst, our hunger for love.